May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and our Redeemer.
Amen.
On this Independence Day, let us reflect on the Gospel of Mark. And as we do so, let us offer thanksgiving for what it has to teach us about the religious freedom we experience in this country. Here, in Mark's story of Jesus, we see a moment of freedom outside the watchful eyes of the scribes and the Pharisees, and of the later and more formal alliance between institutional, political, and religious authorities that we will witness at the end of Mark's Gospel as they try to crush the Jesus movement. Here, though, in the Galilean springtime, Jesus has come home to preach. What does he encounter? Well, first he encounters amazement, does he not? People are so glad to hear from him. But that does not last, because soon what he encounters are people wanting to limit him by his station in life. He is a carpenter. He's a brother. He's a son. How can one such as this, so similar to the rest of us and to the roles that we play, teach in the synagogue? How could he perform deeds of power? In short, Jesus meets faithlessness and rejection. Enough so that he is amazed. And I ask you to consider, perhaps on this 4th of July weekend, where maybe you're seeing some people for the first time as they come home or you have gone away, how homecoming like that feels. We are so quick to think of Jesus as the Son of God that sometimes we don't think of him as the carpenter and the brother and the son of Mary and the person who comes from Nazareth. And yet, there is freedom in this moment. No one is being coerced to accept or reject what he has to offer them. And thankfully, for those who are open to this carpenter, this son, this brother, he remains able to cure a few sick people. So what does he do now? He does not simply stop at the point of rejection. Rather, he sends out his friends, the 12. And what does he tell them? He orders them to take nothing for their journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in their belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. Jesus directs them to walk lightly in the world, not to be preoccupied with security or even worried about survival. And yet when they do go forth, they have the means to cast out demons, to anoint the sick with oil, and to cure them. At this time, at least, before the forces of institutional religion and the power of the state join together to crush the Jesus movement, as they will eventually do in Jerusalem, they now travel lightly through the Galilean springtime. Though the people of his hometown had rejected Jesus, he was still free to send out the 12. When the 12 went about, they were free to teach and to preach and to heal. At this blessed moment, they were not constrained by the combined institutional powers of religious and political authorities. Freedom to move, to try, to fail, to try again, maybe even to succeed. These mark some of the blessings of liberty. And thank God, as imperfect as we may be in our time, we celebrate this day our political freedoms, the first and foremost of which, as stated in our Constitution, is the freedom of religion. For we live in a country where our founders, imperfect themselves, established the principle that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, nor prohibiting the free exercise thereof. It was a principle that has been with us for almost 2.5 centuries. It is a stay against tyranny, and it is a guarantee that we can worship as we choose, and for that we give thanks. So I say to you, thanks be to God, and happy Independence Day to you all.